What's up, everyone? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind-the-bar reviews for Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the Dawn, chapter 182. It dropped today, and, well, first things first, I want to say something about this lighting. This lighting is going to be poor. I'm going to try to fix it on the Sony Vegas program that I use to edit my videos. Likely not. I mean, as you can see, the things are goddamn well hanging right now. You know, that one's missing a bulb, or yeah, that one's missing a bulb and all that stuff. So apologies for the bad lighting and stuff, guys. It won't be fixed anytime soon, but I'm still gonna be doing behind the bar views, hence behind the bar. See, I mean, beer in hand and all that, right? Okay, but that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about, you know, my renovations. What we are here to talk about is Akatsuki no Yona, chapter 182. And this chapter, okay, I think we had like a break that, like, see, the problem is I don't know where people get news and information. I'm not a big Twitter person, and even if I was, I wouldn't know who to follow to get this news that was actually, like, confirmed and stuff. I don't really use Facebook that much. I basically get all my news through people on, like you guys, my subscribers, and, you know, on YouTube, and through other videos, and the Discords of other people and stuff. That's how I get my news. I don't have any sources, so to speak. So when chapters come out and stuff, if it's not labeled, there's a break next week, I don't know about it, right? So, like, there was a long gap for Akatsuki no Yona, and now, boom, we got 181. Boom, we got 182. And in 2 weeks, we're going to get 183. Like, it's like, boom, boom, boom. This monthly release stuff has turned to a bi-weekly all of a sudden or something. Maybe what used to be bi-weekly? I'm not sure, but it seems to be that way. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because this was a solid chapter. You know why? First, like 6 or 7 pages already. What do we get? All right, first off, we have soo-won finally speaking up at this goddamn martial arts tournament, right? Because we know what's going on. Gentai, the Earth Tribe General, is fighting jae-ha, the Green Dragon. Then we have, of course, Jodo of the General of the Sky Tribe fighting against Kye-sook, the White Tribe. Gotcha. Here's the cool thing, is that someone says, Advisor kye-sook. Just curious, you know, what did you say to General Gentai? Because he's not fighting seriously. See, soo-won is a strong character. He's a strong character, but he's also a strong warrior. He's no slouch when it comes to sword fighting, as we saw in his bout with Gentai. And remember, he used to play with Hawk a lot and stuff like that. So soo-won is not a weak combatant. He knows his way around a sword much more than I think anybody gives him credit for. We, of course, the fans know that, but I don't think characters in the series fully grasp that, other than people like Hawk or Gentai who have that eye that can see the warrior within. No, it's not Prince of Persia 2. That game was not very good. But that being said, this whole dynamic right here is interesting because he says, you know, he's not fighting. He's not fighting like himself. So what did he basically say to him? And it's basically summarized here in the first few pages that he says, well, you know, like kye-sook thinks to himself, this is my way to see how loyal he was. He said, but basically, yes, Your Majesty. Well, I told him about, like, this was the unveiling of the dragons and stuff. I had a word with him before the match, pull your punches, that kind of, this is a showmanship and stuff. Soo-won brings up a very valid point saying, you know what, look, here's the deal. On Gentai, that is a terrible idea. Like, Soo-won does not agree with this tactic, it seems, because it's like, the one thing Gentai loves and the thing that we need to keep him happy is to give him a war to fight. Keep his battle prowess. Give him this martial arts tournament, but let him fight in it. Doing this posing, this acting stuff, that's something that he hates the most. He hates the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats, and the showmanship and all that. He hates that. That's his most hated thing about running a kingdom and running a clan and stuff. So that was a horrible idea. But as kye-sook says, he goes, oh, well, the unveiling of the dragons, he agreed to it and stuff. He will be compensated, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, that's not enough. You know, like soo-won recognizes that Juntai is not happy about the situation. We saw his comedic outburst in anger, but really this is making him doubt, and he's thinking about kye-sook. He's like, so it's kye-sook. He knows it's not soo-won who had this idea. It was kye-sook who had the idea, right? So that is really interesting that soo-won is recognizing this and stuff. And the better part, in even the first 10 pages, is the fact that Yona speaks up right away after all this stuff is going down and says, can I ask you something pretty much? And so I was like, yeah. Said, why are you allowing that advisor to do as he pleases? Just boom! Just says it out loud. What we've all been thinking. Soo-won, you're the king. You're the one who did the coup. You're the one who's been convincing everyone to join the 5 tribes together. It's your charisma and your strategies that have successfully won this. And honestly, kye-sook is right next to you, our more mortal enemy, hated enemy, whatever you want to call him. Why are you letting this advisor, basically, why are you doing allowing a Jafar by your side, pretty much, right? And the hilarity of this is that they all kind of let it pass over, but you see Minso, I think that's his name, Minso, the caretaker, the attendant, sitting there sweating. Like the art doesn't allow it to see it, but if depending on the art style, you have to read into it more. The eyes and just a few sweat bubbles speak. He's sweating bullets. He's like, she did not just say that. We're all going to be decapitated in our sleep. He's just like, we were all thinking it, but Yona, you can't say that. And Yona doesn't give a. This is where I'm so glad in this chapter, Yona's character is shining through. Clearly, they still have a plan. We see Hawk smiling in this chapter. I've been telling you guys, this has been an intel. This has been an information gathering. This has been a plan. They didn't do this half-heartedly. They made a core decision to suit their best needs. They aren't just falling into line like lapdogs. There's something else going on. Because here we have Yona speaking up, being strong, and unabashed, not afraid of anything. She's been stepping in line for too many chapters. Now we see the princess that has gone from chapter 1 to chapter 182. And I am stoked. I am stoked to see her back in action like this, because she questions that, and then someone basically just kind of rubs it, like swept that off the shoulders, and basically says, well, the advisor, the martial arts tournament, he brought this together and stuff. It's been an event for a long time. And then he thinks it's about the seat, and he says, look, if that seat is not comfortable for you, if you don't enjoy the prospect of sitting in it, I can arrange for another seat for you. And she basically says, Yona's response is even better. You think soo-won's the cool-headed one? Yona basically says, no, we thought she was weak to do this. I thought she was weak to do this. But here she's showing confidence. I still think it was a bad decision, but here she has the balls to basically say, you know what? I don't care what other people think. To me, this is just the seat I was told was available. To me, it's just a seat. What the masses think is their business. It has nothing to do with me and what I think. Good on you, Yona. Good on you standing up, figuratively speaking, because she's sitting down like I am. But good on you for standing up and basically throwing it in their face that, kye-sook, in 2 basically paragraphs, with just this small conversation, she has basically ousted kye-sook as being like, why are you letting this dude, basically run your kingdom and do what he wants? He's kind of a dick. And 2, yeah, you thought, I would roll over and play dead, but this seat means nothing to me, and it does not change a goddamn thing. Regardless what these people think, it ain't changing me. And so, basically, kye-sook's plan is all down the toilet, down shit. Kye-sook tries to win this little bit of Game of Thrones feel going on here by saying, oh, well, I wonder if the Thunder Beast in the crowd thinks the same thing. And Yona just, Hawk ain't gonna bite at your heels the way you think. He ain't taking the bait. Hawk is a seasoned warrior. He knew what this would mean. He knew what coming to the castle meant. It's like, Hawk isn't as easy as you think. And it's like, Hawk ain't gonna, that's the beauty of this. Like, we've seen Hawk lash out in anger and stuff because that is his default when he sees soo-won or he sees kye-sook or he sees somebody or he sees someone get hurt. Remember, he held back from murdering an entire nation because the dragons were getting hurt. He was just like, oh, I'm going to do it. Like, he's gripping that glaive and he's like, how do I let go of this anger? Because honestly, right now, I'm going to kill everyone. I'm just going to slaughter this entire nation of people, and then nobody will hurt anybody that I care about. Like, that was his attitude. But here, he knows he has to stay in control. He knows that they are going to bait him, and he's aware, and he's ready, and I just love it. This first 7 pages, out of the gate, this has got to be one of my favorite chapters in a long time. In a long time for Akatsuki no Yona. Might be definitely in my top 3 favorite chapters of the year. Clearly, it's definitely got to be. Because it's establishing where we had those doubts for the last... Remember, as a monthly, or maybe it is a bi-weekly series, I'm not sure. I always thought it was monthly. But as a monthly series, you know, we have a long gaps of time. So for the last, basically for this last 2 seasons, you know, for all of the summer and now into the fall, we've had many doubts about the direction that the author took about this series. I know that I've had them. I've expressed them here. You were the fans. I know you guys have had them by reading the forums and stuff. But this is showing us that these characters are still these characters. They have something up their sleeve. Let's just hold on, because they pull a good stunt here at the end of the chapter, and we're only 10 pages in. This is going to be a long-ass review. Now, here's where we get the inner workings of kye-sook's mind, and it's what I said. It's bare bones. It's basic. It's the knowledge he has, but he doesn't know what Hawk knows, and Yona knows, and everybody knows. It's one of those. You know that I know, so I know you expect me to act like this, but I will exactly expect the opposite because it's you. You know, that kind of tongue-twisting, mind-bending sort of idea, right? That is what kye-sook is thinking bare bones. Is like, okay, the Thunder Beast won't be able to suppress his rage at this. That's not possible. This is doubtful. The princess is wrong. There's no way. We're going to have to keep a close eye on him if he tries anything, because kye-sook is... You know what? His point is still valid. It really is. Because the one thing kye-sook has right is to not underestimate not only the dragons, but don't underestimate that goddamn Thunder Beast. There's a reason that the joke has gone on for a long time that he's the 5th dragon, he's the darkness dragon. You know why? Because that man is as strong and can go toe-to-toe as in the League of the Dragons. The only person likely as strong as Hawk in the Koka Kingdom would be Mundok. He beat Juntai at the age of 13. And Juntai, I mean, maybe Juntai, but Jodo doesn't stand a chance. At the end of the day, soo-won, none of them can hold a candle to Hawk. The only ones who are strong enough to actually hold Hawk down would be the dragons. Outside of the dragons, you got Mundok, and that's about it. Like, in all honesty, right? So, this is, like, his point is valid to be afraid. At least he's not a total idiot. He's like, no, the Thunder Beast is a hurricane. Now, Thunder Beast is a natural disaster unto himself. Keeping a watch on him, and anytime he makes a move, be ready to attack, to be able to restrain, to immobilize him, that is the key thing. Like don't slack off. I'm good with that. And they use this to their advantage because Yona's right. Hawk's not thinking that way, because then we see the matches are getting out of control. Kija is breaking the ring, so to speak. He's breaking the battlegrounds, the arena, and he's just slamming, and the rocks are flying. Rocks are going everywhere and all this stuff. And then we see jae-ha. He also says, Kija being so lively, and that, like, Juntai and Jodo, they're going, what is this? What is his power? How much of their power are they going to unleash? Then jae-ha, he splits the ground too. The crowd is being shocked that way, and every way. We see reactions, all this stuff. Kye-sook's like, I didn't tell him to rampage like this. He's worried. Then, boom, all of a sudden, like, rocks are flying, like huge boulders and stuff, and they're flying. Some of them go almost directly for soo-won. Soo-won's okay, but everyone's like, what? Did they almost aim for, did that almost hit the king? What are they doing? Min-so, what is he going to do against a boulder? But he's their, princess, and so Min-so, like, good job. I think that's his name once again, the attendant. Like, good on you for sticking by Yona. You're not doing this anymore, right? You might be feeling indebted to Soo-won, but Yona is still your princess, and you know that. Good for you. And the dragons, they're just going nuts, and it's awesome. And you see, this is where I love this art style, because you see the darkening of the faces on Jodo and Juntai when they realize these guys might actually be rampaging. Like they're not playing around. They are destroying shit. They are throwing boulders and all this stuff. Like this is some intense stuff, right? And it's something where we see Hawk's reaction to this is are the dragons, could they be? And you see Hawk smirking for a minute. You see him smiling. So he realizes what jae-ha and Kye are intending to do here in this chapter. He knows exactly what they're intending to do. And there's a badass moment coming up with Hawk. There really is. But suffice it to say, this whole farce, this whole tournament farce reaction, they have used this to their advantage, because the populace seems to be afraid of the dragons as well, because they keep saying, Jodo, General Juntai, what are you guys doing? Stop the dragons, stop the dragons. At first they were revering the dragons, but in a sense, we've seen what that reverence has done in multiple different arcs in this series. It's almost better if they fear them. They don't want to, not necessarily just fear them, to the point of like dictatorship or anything, but just in a sense of don't approach them. Don't come near me needlessly. That sort of just back away, stay away, that unease that they are giving the populace right now, this is the best time to do it. And I think that is also part of the plan. We don't really see that said in this chapter, but it appears to me that is a cause and effect of this whole situation, right? Because when you think about it, jae-ha could come up with a plan like this. It makes perfect sense. He's always been the wary one. Him and Zeno have always been the wary ones of showing off their powers, of being too revered and stuff like that. In this way, they haven't ousted themselves, but they aren't letting anybody get in too close at the same time. They aren't just a carnival trick for children. Stay away. We are dangerous. That is the message they have come across here in this scene, and I think that's part of their plan, and I really like that. I think it's good. So with boulders flying everywhere, the whole crowd is just going nuts. They're starting to panic. They're starting to run away. Kye-sook is losing his shit. He's just like, what are they doing? They're on a rampage. Protect His Majesty. Protect Princess Yona and the Thunder Beast. So it's like, sir, should we protect him too? No, you idiot. Keep an eye on him. He's going to do something crazy. Use this confusion to murder His Majesty. He's got the scheme already thought up. He's going to use this as an opportunity to lunge at him or something, right? So this all happens, and we're just all sitting there like, okay, what is really going to happen? We see the boulders flying, people running, all of a sudden catch. Hawk has a boulder the size of a goddamn human. And then all of a sudden, boom, another one, boom, boink, toss. Done. All right, it's time to intervene. He gets up. He's like, all right, roll the shoulders, hunch over. All right, yosh, let's do this. So a Sky Tribe soldier basically said, halt you. And he tells Yon to keep his head down, don't, your head will get hit by falling rocks and stuff like that. Just keep your head down and stuff. And it was like, Thunder Beast, what are you going to do? It's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Remember, he was smiling. He's not playing Kye-sook's game. Hawk is smarter than that. He's got his rage, but he knows how to play the game. So he does his thing. The Sky Tribe soldier basically says, sit back down. And then all of a sudden, Hawk goes towards him, out to reach, and boom, stops a boulder from basically breaking this guy's face. And he's like, you shouldn't be focusing on me. You should face forward right now, this would have hurt, toss. And he's like, right, sir, sort of idea. Because remember, some of these people might have actually fought with Hawk under his command in the last war, in the last big battle, right? Because a lot of them, remember, the Sky Tribe soldiers, they were jealous of the Fire Tribe, getting to be led by, Commander Hawk, by General Hawk sort of idea, Captain Hawk. He's the one who, taught them a little bit about swordplay and stuff. The Thunder Beast of Koka himself, so some of them might remember him or fought under him and stuff, and a lot of the populace, it's like, I recognize that guy. Who is that sort of idea, right? So Hawk is making his name once again known throughout, and we see, here's where, okay, so Hawk is kind of on the move. I was like, wait a minute, Kye-sook's like, the Thunder Beast, he's on the move. That's when we see Kye still raging, and we see jae-ha go, all right, I think it's time to finish this, because Juntai's like, oh man, I gotta finish this. I can't just fall down and lose right now. The people are running away. What am I gonna do? And then basically jae-ha is about to kick a bunch of flying rocks, a bunch of boulders. He goes, Juntai, hey, General Juntai, who's standing behind you right now? You see Lily. You see his wife. And you see his, newborn. Juntai just like, nope. Full strength, slash, cuts jae-ha down, probably going to be wounded for the next, few chapters at least. Juntai is no slouch, and Juntai is even shocked by this. Everyone's kind of shocked. Yona knows it had to happen because they knew they were playing this game. We saw, and Hawk knows it too. Hawk is expressionless, is like, Droopy Eyes did what he does. That's Droopy Eyes. He knew how to play it, and Juntai himself is shocked at what he did, realizing, like, he played. Juntai is going to have a conversation with Hawk later, or he's going to help, because at the end of the chapter we see, now that we're coming to the close, we see Hawk picking up, jae-ha. I'm sure Juntai is going to, like, give him a hand and say, like, hey, do you need a hand with that? And, like, lift up his other side sort of idea. And him and Hawk may have a conversation where, like, he played me, didn't he? Like, this was all about a farce and stuff. Like, Juntai is not stupid. He's not a musclehead general. He's not an idiot. So, I'm curious to how that conversation will go. Because remember, Juntai and Mundok were totally fine with cooperating with Hawk to save Lily back then. Juntai was just kind of like, I don't know who you are, basically. And Mundok did the same thing. I don't know who you are, boy. So, remember, that's that situation. Juntai is totally fine with Hawk and everybody. He's not out for blood and out looking to kill him. So, and I really like his character, so I'm curious about another conversation between Hawk and Juntai. After this, we see that Kye finally falls to the ground as well. He falls down, totally exhausting his dragon arm and stuff. And people think that Do cut him down or must have injured him in some way when they weren't looking or something, it seems, because I don't think he ever hit him once. But he eventually falls. Like, the legendary dragons, are they dead? Are they slain? What has happened? And all that stuff. This is where we see Hawk running forward, and Kye-sook's like, stop him, he's going to hurt his majesty. And soo-won was just like, no, advisor, shut up, pretty much. Just like, he is not interested in me one bit right now. And Yona brings up the same thing, and it's just kind of like, look, Hawk's better than you think. Hawk's is only concerned with helping the dragons right now. That's his only concern. But they do bring up kye-sook, and I mean right in front of Yona. So Yona is not oblivious to their conversation. So soo-won and kye-sook basically here at the end of the chapter do acknowledge the fact that they played us, basically. The yellow and blue dragons never got to showcase their powers. This was a clear way they went on a rampage as a farce, as an act, so that the crowd populace, so this tournament would be over, it would be ended prematurely, and the blue and yellow dragons would not have to showcase their power. Because for some reason, they don't want us to see and know what their power is. Even though they do know what the golden dragon, the yellow dragon of Zeno, is like, it's not, it would still be better the more hidden it is. And nobody seems to know about Shinad's eyes. So that's a big thing, right? So that seems to be the thing, is that they played them. They played them pretty good, we thought for a long time, as I said halfway through this review, we thought for a long time as fans that they were getting caught too easily. Like, they were ensnared in Kye-sook and soo-won's trap of camaraderie and kingdomship and, extending a hand and doing what's best for the, diplomacy and best for democracy and best for the kingdom, playing into that. but they still got their rebellion. Kye-sook is waiting. Like I don't know how many times he said like, "Stop the Thunder Beast, rebellion, murder." Every single goddamn time you saw him, and once somebody did something out of line, he thought, "Oh my God, are they starting a rebellion?" You know, he was just so quick on the uptake. They know that Kye-sook is volatile in his quick accusations of any move they make. They know this. They are seemingly using this to their advantage. So the political stuff seems to be playing. There's a multi-layered plot going on here, and I love that. I love that it's not just so cookie cutter. You know what I mean, guys? That being said, I think this review has run long enough. I think we're up to almost like 30 minutes or something. So that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe as always. This has been Griever with your behind the bar views for Akatsuki no Yona, also called Yona of the Dawn, chapter 182. I'm excited for chapter 183, even more so. But this was a fantastic chapter. I really love this chapter, showcasing Hawk being a controlled but an ultimately badass boss of a guy. Jae-ha, Juntai, I mean, soo-won, Yona stepping up to the plate. Like, just, this was an excellent chapter to showcase a lot of character. So, but that being said, guys, once again, hit that bell notification, like, comment, subscribe, whenever you want me to see if I drop a video, etc., etc. They're always haphazard on schedule, so anytime you want to know that. I hope to be doing 183 in just as much of a timely fashion. This one dropped out of the blue, but I seem to have gotten to it in a timely array here. So that being said, I don't think there is anything else to say. It's been a while since I've been behind the bar. It's been almost like 2 weeks. Oh my jeez. So that being said, guys, Griever as always, behind the bar reviews, like, comment, subscribe, drink responsibly, or don't, whatever. It's Monday Night Football. Have fun. Bye.